Goemon's Blood Spray is the next film in the Woman Called Mine Fujiko line of series and a sequel to the Daisuke Jigen's Gravestone film, though you do not have to have seen Daisuke Jigen's Gravestone in order to watch this film, but there are certain little Easter eggs and hints that are more noticeable if you've seen Daisuke Jigen's Gravestone first. We'll cut back to that in a minute. The movie starts out with our main antagonist, Hawk, a axe-wielder extraordinaire known as the Ghost of the Bermuda, who is tasked by a little girl with 3 pictures who says to him that the master has a task for him. We next cut to a casino ship run by a Yakuza group known as the Steel Dragons, who Goemon is currently working for. Lupin, Jigen, and Fujiko also happen to be on this casino ship, as they are looking to steal all the money that the casino ship has on it. In the middle of the heist, Hawk shows up and destroys the main boat's motor, causing it to explode. He then subsequently tries to go after Lupin, Fujiko, and Jigen, with Goemon intercepting him. Hawk easily is able to shake off Goemon and continues his pursuit of Lupin and the gang. Goemon then makes it his mission to track and take down Hawk. But Hawk is a very formidable opponent, and their subsequent encounter results in Goemon losing to Hawk. Defeated and disheartened, Goemon then makes it his mission to train up for his next encounter with Hawk to finally take him down. Will Goemon be able to weather the harsh training conditions that he puts himself under? Or will Hawk be able to complete his mission of taking down Lupin, Jigen, and Fujiko? As far as the acting goes for both language sets, the Japanese cast is pretty similar to what we've already heard before. The English cast is a little bit different for those that have not seen The Woman Called Fujiko Mine, with Keith Silverstein playing Lupin III, who I gotta say does a really good job in portraying the more cool and stylish Lupin that this series has. Some of the longtime English voice cast that returns for this film includes Lex Lane as Goemon, who I have to admit when I had watched him in part 2 of the Lupin III series, I was not a big fan of his monotone performance of Goemon. But having seen most of the series as well as a lot of these films, and his acting portrayal of Goemon in this film, I gotta say Lex does a very good job in portraying Goemon's stoic and almost zen-like feeling to his vocal performance. Short answer, his voice has grown on me as Goemon. Kirk Thornton plays the voice of Hawk in this film, and according to one source, apparently he played Goemon in one of the dubs for The Secret of Mamo. However, this source isn't really too trustworthy, as nowhere on IMDb or any other websites that I tried to verify this information, none of them are able to confirm that he played Goemon in any of the Lupin dubs. He was, however, the voice of the Count Cagliostro in the Lupin III film, The Count of Cagliostro, in the manga video dub. Still, even though the connection is very shaky, I like to think that it'd be very cool if it was the fact that Kirk did play Goemon in one of the Lupin dubs. That way, it would be a battle of the Goemons, the current Goemon voice actor versus a previous Goemon voice actor. Again, though, this is likely not true. Like, it's nowhere stated that Kirk Thornton ever played Goemon in any of the other Lupin III productions. It's just a fun little fan theory at this point. Interesting enough, longtime Jigen voice actor Richard Epcar is not playing Jigen in these Woman Called Mine Fujiko movies, and instead is playing Zenigata. Dan Warren is the one that will be playing Jigen in these movies. and the very talented Christina V as Fujiko, who I, honest to God, mistaken her for longtime Fujiko voice actress Michelle Ruff. It just goes to show you what a great job Christina V does with the role. Some minor trivia for this film: the casino ship at the beginning may be a nod to Alcatraz Connection, as that too also started on a casino ship, with Lupin and the gang trying to steal the cash. There's also some nice callbacks to Goemon's premiere episode in the film, with Jigen and Lupin watching him as Goemon trains. Speaking of Goemon's training, he undertakes some of the harshest conditions that I believe the character has ever had to endure, all for the sake of training a secret technique that he believes he'll be able to take Hawk down with. Speaking of Hawk, he is known as the Ghost of the Bermuda because he is supposed to have died during the war. A person who previously was thought dead is somehow miraculously alive and is under the employment of a mysterious individual who, if you had watched Daisuke Jigen's gravestone, was revealed to be a longtime Lupin foe, best known for wanting to collect some of the pristine examples of the human race. In terms of the antagonist between Hawk and the previous antagonist in Daisuke Jigen's gravestone, Yale Okuzaki, I still would have to say I prefer Yale to Hawk. While both of them are very formidable opponents for both Jigen and Goemon, equally matching them in terms of their skills, I feel Yale was much more unique, with his habit of wanting to kill his opponents based on a roll of the dice on how many bullets he could use, as well as leaving gravestone for his victims. You know, those little quirks that made him stand out a lot more to Hawk. Hawk is a chain cigar-smoking, dual-axe-wielding, indestructible steel jaw for James Bond son of a bitch if I've ever saw one. He also has an affinity for motorcycles and will stop at nothing to take down his prey. The Zentatsuken also goes through a little bit of a makeover. At the beginning of the film, it's more outfitted as a more traditional katana, ornate with a handguard and everything. It's only until later in the movie that the Zentatsuken that we know, with its more simple guard, is then revealed. Finally, I'd like to talk about the violence in this film. Not since Angel Tactics has there been such an eviscerating display of blood, gore, and dismemberment. The film truly lives up to the name Blood Spray. Overall, I felt the film was pretty good. On its own, I felt that there wasn't much meat to it. Just like Daisuke Jigen's gravestone, this was originally released as a 2-episode OVA that was later combined into a single movie. As a sequel to The Woman Named Fujiko Mine, as well as a sequel to Daisuke Jigen's gravestone, I feel that it's a fine addition and a great film for Goemon fans everywhere. Check it out if you get the chance.